I knew something was wrong the moment I saw their shoes by my door again. Muddy, careless, pointed toward my living room like they owned the place. That was the thing about my cousins. They never knocked, never asked, never wondered if I needed space. They drifted in the way smoke does, uninvited, suffocating, impossible to ignore. And that morning, as they grinned at me like I should be grateful for their presence, I felt the first clean snap of something inside me. Not anger, something colder, something final. "We heard you bought a house," Marcy said, kicking her bag into the hallway. "So, we're moving in to help you settle." I smiled, slowly, deliberately, because my plan was already in motion. They hadn't always been my enemies. Once, they were the closest thing I had to family. When I first moved into my tiny apartment years ago, they showed up with pizza and cheap wine, claiming they wanted to help me start fresh. I believed them. I let them in. But fresh starts rot quickly around people who never leave. My couch became their bed. My fridge became their hobby. My space became their automatic right. And every time I hinted they should find their own place, they waved it off. "We're family," they'd say, as if that justified turning my home into a free hotel. I tolerated it longer than I should have, longer than anyone would have believed. And they must have mistaken my patience for weakness, because their entitlement only grew. The final betrayal wasn't loud. It came in the form of a message on my cousin Leo's phone that I saw by accident. A group text, a joke at my expense. "He's too soft to kick us out. Watch, we'll be in his house next. Free rent upgrade, LOL." I stared at those words until the letters stopped looking like English. Then I put the phone back and said nothing. They thought silence meant defeat. They never understood that silence can also mean preparation. The day I closed on the house, I kept everything calm. My face, my voice, my movements. I told them the exact thing they wanted to hear. "Sure, you can help me settle. I'll hire a truck. Meet me at the apartment at 9 a.m. sharp." Their smiles were identical, greedy, relieved, and triumphant. They weren't moving in to help me. They were moving in to stay, to feed on me again. But I had already emptied the apartment. Every drawer, every closet, every shelf, cleared the night before. I left only the things they considered theirs, the clutter they never asked permission to bring, the clothes, the gadgets, the boxes of junk they dumped into my life. At 8 a.m., the real moving truck arrived, not at my apartment, but at their addresses. Paid in full, no return trip. The instructions were simple. Deliver every piece of their property back to the rightful owners. Drop it on the porch if they didn't answer. Take photos as proof. I stood in the empty apartment when my cousins arrived at 9, full of energy and assumption. "Where's the furniture?" Marcy asked. "Already at the house," I said. "Everything that belongs to me, anyway." Confusion. Then suspicion. Then insult. "Where's our stuff?" Leo demanded. I slid my phone across the counter. A single photo on the screen. Their boxes, their clothes, their clutter, dumped neatly on Leo's front lawn. His face drained. Marcy's followed. You had no right! You had no right to live here for free," I said quietly. "No right to plan to invade my house. No right to treat me like your personal doormat." They sputtered, because entitlement never has good vocabulary. "You said we could move in." "I said you could help me settle," I corrected. "And you already did. Your absence is the final step." I picked up the keys to my new home and locked the apartment behind me. They followed me into the hallway like angry shadows. "You can't just get rid of us." I already did. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. People only shout when they're unsure. I was not. At the house, I stood alone in the silence for the first time in years. No shoes by the door, no freeloading laughter, no uninvited presence clouding the air. Just quiet, just mine. That was the thing about revenge. It didn't always need fire or explosions or screaming. Sometimes it was a clean cut. a boundary drawn with precision. Later that night, I received one last text from Leo. "Are you serious?" I didn't respond. Silence was the final blade. I walked through my new house room by room, feeling the weight lift. Peace wasn't loud. It was the absence of them. And after years of being smothered, that emptiness felt like oxygen.